I had to remind myself that there's going to be losses in this life. Things aren't going to go your way. People don't give a fuck. So why would I give a fuck? When you talk about those things, you're considered weak. If I can't brush things off of me quickly and get right back to it, I'm a weak man. And people laughed at me. People said, that's funny. It's good, fellas. It is about 5:52 a.m. in the morning. I got up this morning and man, it was a long night. I got home from work probably around 7. I ate no dinner. I went to bed at like 8, woke up at like 12, went back to bed, woke up at 5. I did nothing the whole last night. And that's completely against what I practice and what I preach. I'm not going to use this as an excuse, but we had to put our dog down. He had a tumor. He was like 10 years old. And it started to really affect me last night. And in that moment, I realized that no matter what you're going through, whether it's a loss, whether things aren't working out for you, you just got to keep going. You just have to keep going, right? No matter what this life throws at you, you have to keep going. Last night, I sat and I gave into the feeling of loss and the feeling of, damn, like, that sucks and I don't feel good. I felt like shit, to be completely honest with you guys. But this morning when I got up, I had to remind myself that there's going to be losses in this life. Things aren't going to go your way. Things aren't going to be perfect. But as a man, it is my responsibility to get up and keep fucking going. No matter what. No matter how I feel. If you guys realize it yet, people don't give a fuck. So why would I give a fuck? I don't know what you've been through. You don't know exactly what I've been through. All you know is here right now in this present moment that we're having a conversation, right? I spent my life like, I don't want to say faking, but damn near. There were days where I was dealing with losses and I was dealing with my own issues, and I grew up in a household where if you're a man and if you talk about those things, you're considered weak. If I can't brush things off of me quickly and get right back to it, I'm a weak man. I'm weak, right? That's the thing about men, and it's really hard for us to understand is when it comes to women, we don't we don't open up, right? Right? We always want to be big, tough, masculine guy. A lot of these women don't even make it feel like a safe place to even talk about any of our issues. And when you talk about your issues with a woman, it just feels wrong. So at least in my community, my goal is to be vulnerable with you guys, to let you guys know that I struggle and I deal with loss and things aren't easy over here. I'm 22 years old. I still live at home. I'm 22 years old and I feel behind. I'm 22 years old and I know what I want to do, but I haven't accomplished anything to the standards that I want to accomplish, the things that I want to accomplish. I've done nothing. But I kept going. Without purpose, without direction, I just kept going. I kept showing up. In one of my videos, I talked about how I thought I was going to play football and how I was going to be a musician. I spent hours playing football, hours of my life. I felt like I wasted. If I could take it back, I would have never played football. I would have just only hit the gym. I would have tried to compete bodybuilding. I would have just spent all my time working a job and stacking up bread to invest into mentorships early on. But I didn't know. I was so passionate about it, and that's what I thought I was going to do. And then life threw a curveball at me. It's like, no, you're not going to go and do that. You thought you were going to go and do that? Yeah, you're not going to go and do that. I went to Plan B. Music. I always loved music. Like, everyone at my high school asked me for what music I'm listening to. Anytime I got into the car, they'd hand me the aux cord. Like, you feel me? I loved music. I spent hours and hours and hours and hours in my bedroom at home with my family in the room. I had to be quiet. Everyone's like, oh, well, you're being too loud. You're making your music. You need to be quiet, Kyrie. And I was so passionate about it. And all I wanted to do was just create. I wanted to create something meaningful. My life felt like it had no meaning. I felt I just felt so lost. I still feel lost, bro. I still don't got it figured out. I still wake up every day like, damn, what the fuck happened? But I keep going. I keep on going. There's one thing that never left me. Two things. There's two things that never left me with not knowing what field of work I was going to go into in life. I knew that I had God. I knew that I loved to work out. I knew that I loved to help people. And I knew I loved to create. Since a kid, I had a little, it was like a tripod and like a mini camera, almost like a GoPro. And I would tell myself, I'm going to be a YouTuber. And people laughed at me. People said, that's funny, right? And I gave in to their beliefs. I gave in to the box they tried to put me in. I gave into their identity of who Kyrie was, right? I gave into that shit. Until I grew up a little bit. And I said, that does not matter. Whatever they have to say about me, fuck them. I don't give a shit. They don't wake up with my issues. They don't wake up with my drive. They don't wake up with the visions that I have at night. They don't wake up with my dreams. Why am I going to let them dictate what I do? Who I am? I can't, and I won't do it. It's been really hard this past month. A lot of people at my work, they know I make content. They had me on Instagram. I had to take them off because I can't bring this life into my work job. And some people are very supportive. Kyrie, you inspire me. Kyrie, I love your content. Keep it up, bro. Those are the people that I get up at 5 a.m. in the morning for. I do it for myself, but the days where I don't want to do it, I think about them. I think about the people that I'm leading. I think about the people that I won't let down. And then there's another mode in me. The people that say, what are you doing, bro? The content you make is stupid. You're just telling me something that I already know. The ding-dongs. Y'all are some ding-dongs, bro. And those are the people that I release with love, but at the same time, it's an extra motivation button for me. That's what I call the love-hatred drive. The love-hatred drive, where I love y'all, I appreciate what you said because it gave me some fucking fuel to do what I said I was going to do. But none of this would be possible without self-belief. When I was a kid, I grew up in a household. My dad was not around. I was with siblings. We shared rooms. And it felt like nothing I did was good enough. Nothing I did. It doesn't matter if I did something right, it was wrong. It didn't matter if I did something wrong, it was wrong. It was a lose-lose situation. And when you're in a lose-lose situation, two things. You have to create the way to win. There is a way to win. It's going to take a lot more work. It's going to take a lot longer. But if you're willing to travel that path, you can win. The other path is believing them and calling yourself a loser. I used to call myself a loser. I used to call myself a bum. I used to say I could never achieve anything. I used to tell myself I would be just like my father. And at the time, I didn't like my father. The man that I saw him when I was a kid, I don't want to be like that. I don't want my kid to feel the way that I felt growing up. That shit sucked. I hated myself. There were points in time when I was younger where I thought about suicide. There were times when I was younger where I just lost all care, right? The past 2 years, I've had countless journals. Remember to remind me to show you guys my journals. I remember spending every single day, if not every day, I would get right back to it. I changed the way I believed in myself. I changed my perspective on 19 years of self-talk that was just awful. I started to tell myself, I am a committed millionaire. That comes from the book, The Secret to a Millionaire Mind. There was a chapter in there specifically where it said, I'm a committed millionaire, I have a millionaire mind, touch your heart, touch your head. And I was doing that every single day because the way I grew up thinking about money too was really bad. It was, money's bad. Everyone who has money is a dickhead. Oh, everyone who has money, they're evil. No, they're not. Not everybody, right? I used to say, I'm a great man. I'm going to be a great husband. I figure out problems. I solve problems. I'm going to be an amazing human being. Every single day, I would tell myself these things to change my belief systems. The problem is that a lot of us lost self-belief. Self-belief and self-confidence are tied together. I believe without belief, you can't have confidence. And without confidence, you have no belief. You have to start with small wins. Especially if you came from a background of trauma. If you came from a background of being told that everything you do is wrong. And it starts to create this feeling that the world is against you. It starts to feel like no matter where you go, no matter how you talk, no matter how you dress, no matter how much you work hard, that you can't win. And I'm here to tell you that that's not fucking true at all. But it starts with small wins. It starts with you congratulating yourself. Too much of us just beat ourselves up every day. Oh, you did this, you ain't doing enough. Oh, fuck. You worked hard in the gym, but it wasn't long enough. You can do that if you have some sort of drive, but remember to give yourself space to congratulate yourself for how far you've came. I'm going to do it myself. Congratulations. You made it to the point you are now. And if it's not where you want to be, don't fucking worry about it. You gotta worry about it to a healthy amount. Otherwise, you'll start to go fucking crazy. When I started to make progress in the gym, I was 140 pounds freshman year. I got all the way up to 200 pounds last year. I'm sitting at about 190 right now. When I hit 200, I was like, damn, like, I'm not big enough. I would compare myself to people that were on trend, people taking fucking peptides. I would, like, go into the gym and be like, damn, like, I'm still a small guy. Like, fuck. I need to keep going. No, bro. You were 140 pounds. You're 200 lean. You're fucking great. Even if you don't believe it, you gotta hypnotize your own fucking mind. Right? A lot of us feed ourselves lies with media, with women, with our successes. Right? You gotta tell yourself good lies. There's good lies. You guys have to rewire your mind. You have to get rid of that 19 years of baggage that people told you about and installed brainwashing, deteriorating, fucking just nasty shit that they told you about that you still believe. You're carrying that weight into the next season of growth, into the next season of success that you're meant to walk into. You can't do that. There's still some things that I went through that I carry. Even though I've journaled for the past 2 years and I try to sort it out, there's still that voice sometimes in the back of my head like, this is not going to work. You're still that same guy that you once were. But the thing is, you have to run far away from that. You have to fully believe in yourself. You have to stack up small wins. You have to give yourself the flowers sometimes without becoming complacent. But what I'm trying to say is you just have to take the next step. You have to keep going. Even when you're lost, even when everything is going wrong. Even when your feelings get in the way of the work you have to do, just do the next best thing. If you're taking care of yourself mentally, spiritually, and physically, just keep doing that. And for those of you that feel like you don't know what to do or where to go, just keep showing up. Just keep showing up, and eventually something in your mind will click, and it'll all make sense. It'll all make sense in the end. I'm in the battle right now between an old version of myself and the new version. I'm like 90% there to the new version of myself, but 10% of the time, this version of myself just wants to come out. And I have to tell that motherfucker, shut up! I don't know you anymore. Who are you? I don't want to meet you. Because I've already met you. And I don't want to be like you. But you got to keep your faith. You got to believe in yourself. And you got to keep going. If you do those 3 things, it's all going to work out. It's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time before shit works out. It's a matter of time that your success shows. But you got to be willing to keep going. You got to be willing to not give a fuck. I say that all the time. Why do you give a fuck? What do you give a fuck about? If I give a fuck about how I feel and the shitty things that were said about me and the identity that people have about me, I'm not going to go anywhere with this shit. I'll be stuck forever, working another 40, 45 years, being with an average woman, living an okay lifestyle. Is that what I really want? No.